All right. What's up, guys? Hope you all are having a good weekend. Just felt like coming on and hanging out with you all a little bit. This is my favorite video game of all time. I'm assuming most of you are pretty familiar with Minecraft. For those of you that are not, this is a blocky, creative survival game. It is, I would say, maybe the most free and creative game that you can play. It's a ton of fun. And I'm just going to chill and hang out with you all. Deuce, is there a reason you shave your head? Yeah, it's hot in Tennessee. Just felt like it today. Today was kind of the day, you know? Today was kind of the day. I like to keep you all guessing, too. You know, that's kind of my big, that's kind of my big thing. The more I can keep you all guessing, what is he going to do next? You know, I really can do whatever I want. And that's a beautiful thing. So anyways, we're going to play some Minecraft. I'm going to start a new world here. We're going to hope this all kind of works out correctly. I've never tried streaming a game before, so we're going to have to see on the frame rates and all that jazz, but this is going to be the live stream world. And we're just going to hang out, really. Difficulty, I'm going to go with normal, I think. Allow commands off. Yeah, we're going to go survival. I do not want to die with one life. Generate structures, bonus chest, off. Anything else? Game rules? Disable elytra movement, respawn immediately. Okay. Experiments. No, I think we're just going to go into this thing. So yeah, Minecraft is a super creative game. You get to make anything you want within the bounds of this block world. And I think that's super cool. And I think the game is, not to just start off the metaphors immediately. And I can't hear anything right now. Oh wait, it's just quiet, I think. Master volume, yeah, let's kick that up. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna kick this up too. Maybe we'll go 80% there. Curtis Nicotro, what does this have to do with philosophical conflict? Well, here's what I would say. That's actually a good question. In many ways, life is like Minecraft, right? I think we tend to think that life is... Wow, this is laggy. We tend to think that... Let's pull this render distance down. Hopefully that'll help a little bit with my lag. You know, we tend to think that life is like going to jobs and all that stupid stuff. But really life is, you're kind of dropped on the earth in a world of creativity. And that's what Minecraft is, right? Minecraft is, you get to kind of do whatever you want. And that's how real life actually works. The more that you break out of the predetermined idea of college, predetermined idea of, it's going to be a little laggy as it generates, this predetermined idea of what you're supposed to be, of what your life is supposed to look like and be like. You kind of slowly, if you're lucky, you get to remember that, hey, actually life is you, a person, out in nature with dirt under you, the sky above, trees all around, and you really get to do whatever you want with that, right? Yes, you got to feed yourself. Yes, you got to, get out of the rain. But really, you don't have to go work some stupid job. You don't have to work in corporate America and send emails for your whole life that you despise. These are things that we choose to do. They are not things that we are made to do. Just because other people have normal jobs or do things a certain way doesn't mean you have to. And I think it's good to remember that life is just a creative sandbox, really. And I think the more that you can harness that and realize, like, hey, I can actually do all sorts of things. I can do whatever I want. Then it is very, very freeing. And that's something that I have really optimized for in my life, which is I really like being free. Rather than being like super high status, let's say. Man, my render distance. Let's bring this down to like 14 and hopefully smooth lighting, max frame rate. Yeah, hopefully that's pretty good. So yeah, it's like, look at this beautiful place. Look at this beautiful, beautiful landscape. I see some kind of ice structure out in the distance this way. We're gonna go over there. It'd be cool if you made it online, allowed other players from the stream to join in. I thought about that. Maybe stream number 2. If I keep doing these, we'll see. That's pretty cool. Ooh, look, some polar bears. Okay, before I get involved in all that mess, let's do the normal Minecraft stuff. We'll get the pickaxe. We'll go from there. Let me know if you guys can hear me about, is my microphone good with the game sound and everything? Let me know. So yeah, that's kind of why I like Minecraft. I like Minecraft because Minecraft is an unironically great representation of how real life actually works. Real life is not college. Real life is not jobs. Real life is not any of these things. Real life is making sure that you are fed and have a place to sleep. And then from there, it's sort of a creative sandbox. And it doesn't make it easy. But it does mean that you can do all sorts of stuff. So first things first. I'm going to be looking for a place to live. Ooh. Sounds fine. Thanks, CJ's. Jermon. Yo, Jermon. Good to see you in here. All right. Let's see if I can find any goodies. Come on. Okay, this is bothersome. Let's get some stone tools. So yeah, when I was a kid, this was far and away my favorite game. I mean, I don't know how many hours I've put into this game. A lot of people played Call of Duty when I was growing up, but when I was a kid, my mom was not a huge fan, so I remember back, I had some of the Call of Duty games. It was always a big thing, and like, so if I was sitting there on my PlayStation, I had a PlayStation 3, and when I was sitting there on this PlayStation, if I wanted to, it was just like a fight constantly. If I was playing any game that involved like shooting others, it was like always a fight. Yes! Let's go. All right, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is great. All right. Perfect. So now I can get shears immediately, which is wonderful. And now I can make a bed without having to kill these sheep. Which is another thing. I like to, as much as possible, not have to kill the animals. It's like a fun little rule I like to add, because they're like alive things in the game. I don't like indiscriminate murder of living things. I used to, but in my old age, I'm less of an animal murderer. All right, do I want anything else from this boat? Probably not. I am gonna craft a bed just so I have one. By the way, do you guys like the Thanos skin? Before the Thanos skin, I was Joker. Kaigu Game says the stream is wonderful too. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna be a rolling stone in this game until I find, you know, that house location, that place that really speaks to me. Channel Y2K based. What's up, Josh? One thing about having a bed this early is it does make it super easy to stay away from the enemies. Is that another boat over there? You know, I almost played this in Minecraft Alpha. I have a Minecraft Alpha version of the game also on my computer, because I started playing this game in alpha. So I started playing this game like super, super early. I originally found this YouTuber named Nanners. So, a friend of mine in like 7th grade, this game, my friend told me about this guy on YouTube who was playing this block game, and it was like you build and craft stuff, and it was called Minecraft. And this guy named Nanners was playing the game, and he sent me the videos. And those videos were the first YouTube videos I really watched. So my YouTube journey even really started with Minecraft. And Minecraft gaming. So I watched Nanners play this game in alpha, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'm gonna start playing this game, and really fell in love with it. And in alpha, there was a lot back then in the game that you couldn't do now, but there's also the way that the game played was very different. It had kind of a different... It was very stripped down, but in certain ways that made it more difficult, and in certain ways it made it more focused on actually creatively building things rather than the focus being on like questing or adventuring and this sort of thing. Because as Minecraft has grown, the game has become more and more about like adventuring. And like there wasn't a food bar, and so like you weren't incentivized to like have to kill animals, these sorts of things. Like you wouldn't... Theoretically, you could go the whole game without ever eating if you're great at it. Whoops. And so there's a lot of like cool stuff about the original game. There was no villagers, so there wasn't like, these like these lesser life forms that you could enslave. That's another thing that this... Come on, get in there. This new version of the game like incentivizes slavery, which is hilarious. Tom started the origami. That's cool. Ooh, okay. Got a buried treasure map. That's awesome. Like the villagers give you all this good stuff, but they give you that good stuff because you hurt them, right? You take from them. You can... And I've done all these things, right? Like you enslave all the villagers, and then it's okay, poisonous. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'll take a moss block. Yeah, okay. And like, I think when Microsoft bought this game, it's very interesting watching the specific choices that Microsoft decided to make about this game. Because it went from this like super creative game to more so an adventure game, and to more so a game that incentivized you to do like evil things. And not that it's the end of the world that you have to like, or that you're able to harm villagers and stuff. But it is interesting that was the choices that started to define the game. And I think there's something to be said about sticking to the game's original purpose, which was mining and crafting and being creative, over other ways of playing. Let's go see if we can find this buried treasure, huh? CJ, did I see Deadpool and the Wolverine? No, I have not. What did you think, man? Scale of 1 to 10. What is your rating? It's supposed to be like right here. Okay. Like right here. There it is. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay. Sweet. Already got some diamonds. See, this is another thing. And, ooh, a potion of water breathing? That's awesome. Okay. Got some iron, got some TNT. Got some cooked salmon. Great. And now I got a full inventory. Welcome to this game. Potion of water breathing. Do those stack? They do not. Okay. Heart of the sea. Prismarine crystals. I guess I'll keep those. I don't need this. One single block of dirt. I don't need this. Okay. Let's see if I can't organize this inventory a little bit. So the fact that I found diamonds so fast is, again, another thing in this new version. Is like, it would have taken me years to find some diamonds. I'm gonna just a touch. Let's see, 55. That's nice. All right, let's go into the great open ocean. You thought it was an 8 out of 10? Opening title sequence alone was worth the price? Wow. I do say here's another thing too much, don't I, Tom? What is this? I'll take that. Whatever. Let's get out of here. The search for the perfect home continues. I've got like so much stuff already. I need to find a place to chill. Am I at all interested in going to see Alien Romulus next weekend? You know, man, I'm not really interested in movies that are coming out right now. Like, I work on... Every week, I have, like, one-on-one coaching clients. I'm reading people's screenplays and giving, like, serious, in-depth notes. And then I have a writers group that meets Mondays and Fridays. And so in that group, I'm working on, like, 4 or 5 stories literally every single time we do that. So, like, I spend so much time actually and I'm writing my own screenplay, and I'm working on the Practical Screenwriting Course 2.0, which is going to be free on the YouTube channel. So I'm working on, and in that, I'm like, I watch some old stuff. Like, I've been watching Dragon Ball Z. So I'm working on so many stories. What in the world is this? A smithing template. I don't even know what that is. Gunpowder. Okay, got carrots. Oof, 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 oof. I don't even know what a smithing template is. Curse of Binding, Unbreaking 2. That's cool. Let me toss this on. Yeah, okay. Where do I want this to be? I guess I can go like this and this. So the point is, I feel like I am working on so many stories. I'm working on my client stories. I'm working on my writers group stories. I'm working on my own screenplay. I'm researching stuff for YouTube videos that I don't, and the fact that Hollywood movies that are coming out right now are so bad, like so regularly terrible, that I'm, or at least not even so regularly terrible, they're just like such 5 out of 10s. I did go see Twisters. I went to see Twisters, which is in theaters right now, with my sister and her friends. And that was just like the most unbelievably bland film I've ever watched. You know, again, it's a Hollywood movie, so it's like the effects and the whole production value is just unbelievably high quality, just because Hollywood is so stinking good at nailing that production value. But in terms of like, did this story make me genuinely feel a single emotion? No. Other than boredom and waiting for it to end. Like, a lot of times when I go to the theaters now, I am just gauging where we are in the story so that I know how much longer I have to sit through the movie. So, like, I was sitting in this movie and being like, okay, I think this is the break into Act 3. Like, we've just ended Act 2, or Act 3 of 4 if you use my story view. But we've just hit that second major break. We're heading into the final act. And I was like, okay, that means I've got about 30 minutes left of this freaking movie before I can go do something else. I do like this ruined portal down here. I don't have a single piece of inventory space. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to do a little momentary base here, just to give me a moment to... Let's just put some items in here. Fogarty, this is like when the teacher lets you watch a movie instead of class. That's awesome. That's exactly what this is. 2 potions of water breathing. I'll make these iron nuggets. Oh. Okay. Oh, actually, I'm going to make an iron pick. That's such a good analogy, Fogarty Fox. A clock. Glistening melon slices. Ow! I cannot be dying. If I die, I will lose. Because I have no idea where I am. That would be bad. I'm going to set that down. Clock is cool. Glistering melon slices. That's interesting. It really has been a minute since I played this. Alright. Light weighted pressure plate. Some gold ingots. Iron nuggets. Fire charge. Golden horse armor is cool. I want those. I want this too. Gimme. What? Yes, gimme. Okay. What's the biggest thing I've built in my Minecraft world? Biggest thing I've ever built is I built a library. I'll have to show it to you guys. I had a Minecraft server with friends a while ago. Jeez, I cannot be in this rain. Yeah, I had a Minecraft server with friends a while ago, and in that server, I built this freaking beautiful library. It's one of my proudest creations. I also built like this cool circular like spaceship thing. So that's probably the library I'm most proud of. I'd say it is my most wonderful creation. I'll have to fire up the server at some point and show you all. What's the best movie I've seen from this year? Released this year? Do they still make good movies? I don't even know. I've read a lot of great screenplays from clients I've worked with. Have I seen a lot of great Hollywood movies? Not really. Yeah, I want to expand this out so that the rain sounds are lessened, but I guess they're not going to do that. Well, at least I'm able to respawn here. I guess this is my home now. Where are we? Negative 1100. 400. Okay. I feel like I can do better than this house, but now I have all of these items. Fogarty says I can mute the sound of rain in my settings. Yeah, but that's not immersive. I want to be immersed. What do we got over here? Nothing? Nothing, okay. hear this bat squeaking around. I was hoping I'd hit a cave. Welp. I feel like I'm right at a cave, though. Oh, I also have this pickaxe still. Come on. Give me a cave. Hey, Ariella, I'm doing well. Just hanging out. Enjoying my Saturday. Whatever. You know what? Screw it. He continues to taunt me. Where are you, bat? All right, I'm officially bored. We're going back up. Hopefully the rain has stopped. Unsuccessful. I don't hear any rain though. Oh, and there it is. Yes, Ariella, I can read your messages. Zach, is rain bad? Not necessarily, I just don't want it. Okay, this is not where I want to live. I need to continue on my journey, continue on my quest. Okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. I want all of these things. I don't need this or this. I'd really like to have most of this stuff. Glistening. I want my potions. I don't really need a clock. You know, that's something I noticed in Dragon Ball Z, is that they make fun of clocks in the show. Like talking about how clocks are lame and useless. And we shouldn't be thinking about time all the time. And I totally agree. A lot of like deep truths buried in Dragon Ball Z. A lot of cool truths there. Okay. We're moving on. Nope. Give me this. Where's my boat? Here it is. Okay, I'm going to put my boat down. And we can take one more thing. Heart of the Sea. Nah, I want my pumpkins. Alright. Let's go! Benjamin says, isn't the sun a natural clock in a way? Absolutely it is. We don't need a clock. We have the sun. You're exactly right. Your body is a natural clock. Yes, absolutely. Your body knows what time it is naturally. Your body can feel what time it is. Like, I don't use an alarm clock most of the time. Sometimes I need to, if I've got something very specific to get up for, but like most days, like I haven't used an actual alarm clock in months. And it's awesome. I kind of get up, and I'm not like a late sleeper either. I'm usually up around like 7 or 8. I always leave my windows open too. So when the sun rises, I get light through my windows. I get up. I walk outside. I got woods all around me. Kind of rules. What are some of my favorite stream moments? I don't know. What is this? Oh, is this another ruined temple? Cool. I need to make a new pickaxe. I'm lagging a little bit because I'm traveling so much in this game. Okay. Your windows are boarded shut. That's no fun. Why would you board your windows shut? There's got to be a chest around here somewhere, right? Filled with some goodies. I don't see one. I could use my water breathing potions, but I'm gonna save them. Screenwriting craft. All right, we continue. We continue the quest for the beautiful spot to start our home. Yo, that's the name of the new community Minecraft server? Yeah. If I do a stream where we all do a server, it can be Screenwriting Craft. Absolutely. Life feels saved after leaving a city and returning to nature? Totally. Yeah. Look at this coral reef. It's kind of cool looking. I want to get off of the open ocean, though. I want to be on land soon. Would much prefer to run around on land and try to find a house. This is pretty cool. Might be a nice place to live. Not a lot of trees, though. Fogarty, I am Thanos. Yes. Yo, is that an armadillo? What? What's up, dude? Can I bump him? I didn't even know there were armadillos in this game. What a cool guy. That's fun. Ariella, you sent me some stuff on Discord. Yeah, I can take a look. I know I'm getting a little bit of buffering, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, hoping this stream decides to... I mean, I don't even... Can I call Charter right now? I don't even know. Like, can I call Spectrum and be like, hey guys, why am I paying you all this money all the time? For nothing to work ever. Cannot for the life of me. Absolutely cannot for the life of me keep a stream high quality. Come on. Are we back? Okay, I think we're back. Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, how... Who do I need to strangle at Charter Spectrum Internet to get a connection that's not going to be like this? You know? Like, I mean, what needs to happen? Who is it? You know, who needs sexual favors so that I can maintain 6,500 kilobits per second upload speed? You know? I like... The good thing is I think I found a house location. But the bad thing is I can't seem to maintain an internet connection that makes any of this worth it. But I don't even know how the oh no, don't kill me please. Look at this though, isn't this kind of sick? Kind of sweet, kind of cool. I think I might do a house right in the middle of this, like, situation here. Just giving me that kind of right feel. Like a whole, yo. Don't, no. No. Yeah, this is kind of a cool spot. Yeah, this is kind of a cool spot. Okay. What if we did like a tower home? So, in the interest of first and foremost not dying. No. No. See, these are not pro gamer moves. Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Charter Spectrum has decided to allow little old me to hold and maintain a internet live stream connection for 5 minutes. We'll see how long this lasts. Okay. This is where my home is supposed to be, though. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna hope nothing drops down on me either. This game is way too bright at night also. That's another thing in this newer version of the game. It's too bright. It's too easy. But whatever. Yeah. This is what we're gonna do. This is gonna be. This is the pad. I'm gonna do like this. It's gonna be V1. This is the basic concept. V1. Expansions coming soon. Ah, and the sun rises. As I get the first pieces set up. That's great. Okay. So this is the house. This is the spot. Look at this. Look at this spot. This is sweet. Okay, I got to make sure I don't fall, because then I would lose this location and everything would be quite bad. Set that bed there. Oh, and I don't have enough for a chest. Okay. I should get a water bucket though. All right. Can I jump down into water somewhere? Maybe this side? I should be able to make that jump, right? Can I make that? Oh, I don't know. It's pretty far out there. I don't think I can. Okay. We will go down the old-fashioned way. First order of business will be figuring out a way to get up and down efficiently. But this is... We found the home. It's a good start. I cannot make that. Thanks for guarding. Dude, that graphic you made in the Discord, that looks awesome, dude. That's super cool. All right. Yeah, so that's going to be the house. I'm going to build out of that structure. Might even link these towers together. We'll see. I'm glad I didn't try the jump. That would have been a quick and unfortunate end to the situation. All right, I'm gonna do some house building. What do I want the house to look like? I kind of want it to be... I need a vision. I'm seeing maybe like a sandy color. Kind of expanding out from there. Don't really want it to be cobblestone. Would be cool if it's like sandstone or something. So maybe I go collect some sandstone and build out. Probably a good way to start. What's this? What is this? Is this a... Oh, it's a mine shaft. Huh. Does it go anywhere? I guess not. Wow. Oh, wait. Ooh. Well, we're just gonna destroy that, actually. I don't need that in my life right now. This is a cool spot. Okay, yeah, this is cool. Huh. What's up, Golden Spoon? Hey, buddy. Copper. Do I really need copper? I don't even know what copper does in this game. I do want some of this, though. Wait, or is this copper too? No, I think... This is iron, right? No, that's copper. I don't care about that right now. What is this? White terracotta. Okay, this is what I'm making my house out of. Why is that there? I didn't make that. Omega, you're here? I thought I like banned you or something. Why haven't you been banned? Did I put my bed up? Yeah, I put my bed all the way back over here. Okay. Why would I be banning you? Why would I need Greta Gerwig's info? Of all the directors to choose. I mean, I guess, you know, I would take it. I don't know what Greta and I would discuss, though. Unless she's got a script she wants me to read. I'd love to read a new script. A Greta script. She wrote Little Women, right? She wrote and directed. And Lady Bird is really good. Ah, only 17 creepers standing here. Alright, I'm gonna do the old water trick. Do not blow up. I want my front lawn looking nice. I should be writing... I mean, I can't read chat correctly because this freaking heart icon is in the way. Did you say you should be writing Barbie 2? Oh yeah, that's right. Barbie 2. I still haven't seen that movie. It's not on the top of my list right now. Though it does have the Gosling in it. Mr. God. Ooh, don't fall, please. Okay. All right. All right, let's go to sleep and hopefully not fall off the edge. I must do this. We'll see how that looks in the morning. Yeah, it does kind of have a flesh look. I thought it'd be a little wider than that. Maybe I'll go with it anyways. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it anyways for now. I'm gonna expand the whole thing out a layer at least. Yeah. Okay. I still don't have any more wood. Probably should have got some. Yeah, I don't think I like the white terracotta that much. Did I like Top Gun 2? Yeah, I mean, what's funny about almost fell. What's funny about Top Gun Maverick is it's a great example of like the bare minimum, and then people are all like, "Oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing ever." Just wow, there's really no trees around here, huh? Yeah, Top Gun Maverick is like the bare minimum, and so people are like, oh my gosh, the bare minimum. Like, it wasn't totally and completely garbage, therefore we must laud it as a feat of filmmaking. So you know, it was fine. Was it truly a masterpiece of cinema? No. Here's what I would say. I don't know if Hollywood has made a genuinely great film. I'm trying to think about the last genuinely great film produced by Hollywood. And there's been some great TV shows. But last genuinely great film. I don't know. I mean, pre 2020, like it has to be like a 2018, 2019 film. I don't know if there's been a single great film released post pandemic. Oh, you like the bike riders? Yeah, I've heard good things about the bike riders. But again, I've heard good things, right? I've heard it was pretty good, not that it was a masterpiece of film and cinema. Wow, just really no trees at all, huh? Maybe this isn't the right place for the old house. I'm still holding like all my inventory. I'm still not settled. Still a man without a home. Parasite is great. Parasite, what year is Parasite? Wasn't that like 2019? Or was that during the demic? Oppenheimer, get out of here. Oh man. Exactly. See, this is the state of film in 2024 where people genuinely think Oppenheimer was good. Like, people actually, like, the hype is over, the hype train is dumbed down. You know, you don't have to think it's the best movie ever just because everybody was like, oh, this is the best movie ever. Like, literally, it comes out that summer and everybody's like, this is the best film of this century. That is just a bold-faced lie. Absolute, like, greatest film of the century. Absolutely categorically false. It's not possible for a movie of just people talking in rooms and it's 3 hours long to be the greatest film of the century. Just what an absolute abomination of a sentence. So I feel like we're far enough away from the summer of Oppenheimer's release where we can safely say that no, Oppenheimer was not a good movie. It's like, how do you make the atom bomb boring? You make it 3 hours long and everybody's talking in rooms and, you know, somehow he's the victim. What a joke. What a joke. Good. Yes, Golden Spoon. Channel your true feelings for Oppenheimer. Do not allow the crowd of, you know, peasants to tell you it was a great film. Everybody likes to follow the leader, but follow your gut. Everyone knows deep down it wasn't good. That's the thing too, like, movies maybe more than anything, people follow the opinion of the crowd. And you know what's good about like the internet and internet videos is that if it's not good, it's super obvious that it's not good. Like, it doesn't get any views, people don't talk about it. But with movies, because the industry is so massive and like controlled, and they have like such huge marketing budgets to pour into these movies where it's in front of everybody's faces and all of this, it's much easier to create this fake sense that everybody loves the film, right? Because you put $20 million in marketing behind it, because you run ads for it all over YouTube and on all commercials and all of this, it's much easier to get into this state of, oh wow, like, yeah, like everybody actually thinks this movie is great, even though they don't. It just seems that way because it's been pushed so hard that it feels that way, right? But it's not an organic push. Like Oppenheimer being considered the best film of the century, that is a marketing plan, right? Like, that's not how people actually felt about the movie. That's the line they put on the poster so that people go see the movie, right? And that's it's an important distinction, right? It's an important distinction between what is actually public opinion versus what is something that is a big $20 million marketing push, and that marketing push includes the narrative that everyone loves the movie, you know? And, you know, I get it, right? You want to say, hey, you spend hundreds of $millions on a film, you obviously want people to go and see that film. So you're going to say it's the best thing since sliced bread. You're going to say everybody loves it. You're going to say that the New York Times and Huffington Post and all of these, you know, controlled news media organizations that just get paid amounts to say, that are just, they're for hire mouthpieces, right? That's part of the problem with these traditional, like, websites and newspapers that are not an individual person. Like if you're a brand like New York Times, I'm glad there's all these trees here because now I don't have to give up my home. I can come here and chop trees. But if you're a brand like New York Times, you're not a person, right? You're a brand name. And you can get that brand name to say anything you want that brand name to say. So you can say, the New York Times says this is the, oh, is that a village? Yes. The New York Times doesn't exclaim there's a village. But the New York Times says, wow, Oppenheimer is the best film of the century. And who at the New York Times says this? Right? Like, well, no one knows. It's just the New York Times said so, or Huffington Post said so. Right? It becomes the nameless entities that are supposedly making these claims, and you can make a nameless, faceless entity say literally anything you want it to say. That's why it's always better if an individual person is saying, hey, I loved this movie, or I hated this movie, or something like that, because you actually understand what that individual person likes and dislikes. And so you don't even have to consider that person's opinion on a film or whatever they're giving their opinion on. You don't have to take it as like gospel truth. All it does, though, is attach a name and a face to an opinion. And so you don't say, you know, how stupid would it sound like if I said, practical screenwriting says Oppenheimer is a great movie? You'd be like, well, that's a stupid statement. You know, what does Tyler Mowery think about Oppenheimer, right? You would be asking, what is the individual person, what is their opinion? But that's not how it works. And so you have these massive companies that are just, you know, Huffington Post says Oppenheimer best movie. Okay, well, that doesn't mean a single thing, because Huffington Post is not a living human being, right? Huffington Post cannot watch a movie. It's not possible. The critics at Huffington Post can watch a movie, but then it's like, who are these critics? And why am I listening to them if I don't know their names, if I haven't heard of their opinion in the past, right? Like it used to be, it would be so-and-so critic at New York Times, that readers of the New York Times would listen to that person's opinion, and then, okay, well, great. Well, you know, like Roger Ebert or whoever works with a particular news media company, and then now that person has an opinion that's attached to that company. But if it's not a name, then it doesn't matter. If it's not a person, it doesn't matter. And so you get this situation where movie lovers feel like they can't go against the opinion of the establishment and say, actually, this movie is kind of a 5 out of 10, because they are good at creating the illusion that everyone and their mom thought this movie was the best thing ever. So that's a long-winded way to say that. Like, it's part of the reason why you can't easily see what movies are good and bad. Like, because movies are so expensive, and because Hollywood has their marketing set up in a particular way, it creates this follow the leader mentality for movie lovers, where they just go with whatever the narrative is. But the narrative is always going to be that Hollywood's doing great and the movies are great. Whereas the reality is Hollywood has not been making truly excellent films with the regularity that they used to for quite some time. Which is why I've made statements like Hollywood died in 2008 and these sorts of things. And Hollywood died in 2008. Hollywood was also harmed greatly by 2018. Like Harvey Weinstein's cancellation, you know, terrible person, yes. But in the sense of being a great producer, like he might have been the last good producer in Hollywood, in the sense that he made Tarantino's career. He put a lot of, he knew how to put talented directors with talented actors and have the money to make it happen. That doesn't excuse any of the horrible things that he has done, But what it does say is like producing is a talent, right? It is an ability to bring together the right people to make a film work. And when you have as complex an industry as film, it requires the ability for great producers to say, hey, I'm going to put this director with this cast, and I'm going to actually make that happen, and I'm going to make sure they have the money, and I'm going to give these certain people the creative freedom, and I'm going to be able to be there in the edit and give good studio notes, right? Studio notes aren't always a bad thing, but it's like, what are the notes, right? And like a good producer, a truly good producer gives notes and makes directors and editors and these people actually take their notes. That's part of the job of a great producer. But when you don't, but instead of that, right, they ended up saying, okay, well, we're just gonna start canceling some of these producers. And, you know, I'm not saying that should not have happened or whatnot, right? Like, should Harvey Weinstein have been allowed to continue abusing people? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if you make the entire industry stuffy corporate people, then you get Disney Plus, right? Then you get Ahsoka, then you get The Mandalorian, then you get these stuffy, useless Star Wars shows that no one cares about, and Oppenheimer, right? And so that's kind of the point, right? Like Snowpiercer would not have happened except for Harvey Weinstein. A lot of the Tarantino films would not have happened if not for Harvey Weinstein. And that, again, does not excuse anything he has done. But there's a talent to producing. And just because Hollywood says everything is hunky-dory and that they never can make any mistakes and that they're just everything is always the best. It's just not the case. So they're good at putting money behind narratives. Like that's what they do. Like, who has talked about Oppenheimer seriously since the film was released? Nobody's talked about it. Not really. Like, a film is truly a classic when it really, really stays in the cultural conscience. Like, one of my biggest videos to this day is why you should study Fight Club, right? Fight Club is a genuine cult classic. Fight Club is a film that actually people genuinely love, genuinely think is super important, super impactful, this sort of thing. Right? It's not just a Hollywood push. It's like actually people love the movie. And that's obvious. Like, you can tell that because of the reality of, especially on YouTube, right? Like, because people are still paying attention to videos about the movie. The Dark Knight is a great example too. You know, it was even a meme just how much how many video essayists, myself included, everybody seemed to have their Dark Knight video. Why? Well, because if you made a freaking Dark Knight video on YouTube, you were bound to get some freaking views. Why? Well, because the film is genuinely great. And again, right, like, Cillian Murphy's in that film, directed by Christopher Nolan, right? So I'm not saying that these people are not talented, but what I am saying is Oppenheimer, mid. The Batman was great in your opinion? Okay, so let's talk about the Batman. The Batman is not a great movie. The Batman is beautifully shot. The Batman is well acted. The Batman is super melodramatic for no reason. The Batman has, like, no real depth to the story, I think, is the issue with the Batman. They didn't really have any sort of, this kind of goes back to theme, philosophy of the film, stuff I talk about a lot, where the film was super physical, external plotty, right? Like, and they kind of make Riddler like this incel character, and it doesn't really work. It's just too cartoony versus The Dark Knight, which was Joker really had a much more clear point of attack in the way that he was discussing the justice system and in the way that they used Harvey Dent. And there's a lot of things about The Dark Knight that really made it much more of a philosophical film. Maybe even than they were intending, I don't know. But the Batman is melodramatic to a point of absurdity. Especially there's that one scene where the Penguin is like looking at the Batmobile, and he's like pensively looking at the Batmobile. And then we cut to the Batmobile, and then he's pensively looking at the Batmobile. And we cut to the Batmobile, and he's pensively looking at the Batmobile. We cut to the Batmobile. I'm like, oh my gosh, this movie. Now and again, did I enjoy watching the Batman? Sure, it was fine. But again, it's a 5 out of 10. It's a mid-level movie. And yes, you can enjoy it. I'm not saying you can't enjoy these films. But I think there's a folly that a lot of people get into that you can, I live in my extra critical land, and I get that, and not every, most people are not me, and they're not trying to be so freaking critical and deep about everything. I totally get that. And absolutely, you can enjoy a film. I'm not here to ruin everyone's parade all the time. I know it feels like that. But I'm not moving my goalposts. I'm not changing my standards of what is a great film just because great films aren't getting made with the level of consistency that they used to, right? Like, you truly used to be, Hollywood was genuinely made, and listen, it is a feat to make a great film. It's an absolute feat. And I'm saying this as somebody who has not made a movie, who wants to make a movie. And the more I go towards that goal, the more and more it is clear just how much time, effort, and energy it is not only to write a great screenplay, but then to actually produce a great film, and the level of infrastructure required and the level of talent required and all of these things. And so the fact that Hollywood has even been able to create that level of consistent quality that they have, where we had multiple decades where genuinely great films, multiple genuinely great films would come out every year, that is such an absolute feat that I am, bravo to them for being able to pull that off at all. That being said, because it is such a massive feat, you also have periods of time where Kevin says the Batman was horrendous. You also have periods of time where great films are not being made, as is the nature of the difficulty of making a true masterpiece. And so I'm not moving the goalposts on what is a true masterpiece just because it's hard to make one, right? And I think that is what keeps the sacredness of a masterpiece, if you really hold to your high standard, right? There are masterpiece films, right? The Dark Knight, I would say, is a masterpiece film. I think Whiplash is a masterpiece film. I think Little Miss Sunshine is a masterpiece film. I think I would say the original Star Wars is a masterpiece film. What are some other masterpieces? I'd have to go back through the logs. What's another? The Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is probably the greatest, all around, everything considered. I think the Lord of the Rings trilogy is the greatest 3 films Hollywood ever made. The feat of filmmaking that those films were, the way that they combined practical effects with computer-generated images in this beautiful way, so that even today, right, these films were made in the 90s, and even today they look better than many of the Marvel movies. Like, just absolute feats of filmmaking. Bravo to everybody who worked on those projects. Like, Hollywood has made absolute masterpieces of art. And I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not, and to talk and act like Oppenheimer is even kind of in the same realm as the Lord of the Rings trilogy, for example. Like, that's just absurd, and I won't tolerate that. I won't sit around and act like that's the case just because Hollywood is not making Lord of the Rings level trilogies these days, and instead they make Rings of Power type garbage. You know, that's just, I just won't do that because I think it cheapens it cheapens the legitimacy of truly great filmmaking and what people that were on some of these teams like the Lord of the Rings made. So they were so unclear. Shawshank. Yeah, Shawshank Redemption. Great film. Truly excellent film. They were so unclear on the point they were trying to make. It was trying hard to make political points. They didn't have any points to make. Yeah, so absolutely. They were trying to make these like incel points. There's a specific piece of the film where they went wrong. There's a moment about Bruce Wayne's father's corruption. So in the Batman, there's this scene where it's revealed that Bruce Wayne's father was like also corrupt and kind of involved in the mob in his own way, in some way. And I was like, oh wow, like that's actually interesting. They're adding this depth to the moral choice that Bruce Wayne is now having to make. And then they made it false. Like, it was like, no, he didn't really do that. They are, you know, they were lying about his involvement. And I thought that was, they really pulled a very, very important punch in that moment. Because if they would have allowed Bruce Wayne's father to be this corrupt person, and Bruce Wayne has gone his whole life believing that his father was this pristine political entity, now Bruce Wayne has a genuine dilemma, right? He has a real conflict that now we can explore in the movie that is adding serious dramatic weight to what happens next and how he handles the reality of who his father really was. But instead, they're like, it ends up being like, oh no, they're lying. That's not actually the case. And then, therefore, cheapening the moment and, you know, sending the film back to what it was, which was a decent blockbuster with great imagery. And that's another piece where Hollywood is very, 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 very good at creating seamless, believable images, right? Like, I watched Twisters, like I said. In Twisters, the computer-generated images, the cinematography, I mean, it's just a gorgeous film, so well done on that side. But at the end of the day, it's the story, right? At the end of the day, no matter what, the story is king. And in Twisters, it's a completely, utterly bland story. Like, the characters are all flat. It's just very predictable. It just doesn't really make you feel. And if it doesn't make you feel, no amount of beautiful, perfect imagery or having the most perfectly CGI tornado is not going to do anything for you. Because it doesn't make you feel anything if the story isn't there to back it up. So, The Ring is Mine. Yeah. What a moment, John. Like, what a moment in cinema. All right. I should go to sleep. Where is my house? I think my house is back this way. This is great. This is a perfect zone now. I've got a village by the house, which is awesome. So I can supply myself with slave labor if I choose to do so. I'm trying to play this. This is an ethical run, so maybe I don't cage them all and force them to trade with me. Maybe I'll let them run free and I can just... Maybe I fence them into their village, but they can stay in their village. I don't know. What level of slavery is acceptable? That's the question I must ask myself. If they can still eat and hang out and have fun, but can never leave the village, is that ethical? I don't think so. But would it kill them? They're not really trying to leave. Maybe I make the fence really wide. Okay, where's my house though? I think it's more this way. Also, why Deadpool failed in your eyes? What do you mean, Fogarty Fox? Are you talking about the original one, or are you talking about the new one? I saw the original Deadpool when it came out. I have not seen Deadpool 2 or Deadpool and Wolverine. You know what I need to do is find a cave. I have not actually gone spelunking quite yet. Not truly gone mining. I want to get this house like semi set up though. And then then I will go into a mine shaft somewhere. Do not shoot at me, sir. You know, I think too, what makes me, part of what makes me maintain my high criticism is that there still are great stories being worked on. The great scripts are still being written. Like, the writers that I have worked with directly, they're writing genuinely great stuff. Now, not all of them have the Hollywood connections to make them happen. Some of them do, but making movies takes time and requires a lot of patience. Especially if it's multi-million-dollar projects, which some of them are. They do not happen overnight. But when I see great writing happen in front of me by writers I have direct access to, then my standards remain high. Because I see, look, these people that I'm working with, they write extremely well. We're able to work together and get things that are truly top-notch. And you can believe me or not on that. It doesn't really matter what you think, honestly. but that's the case. And so it makes me less inclined to give slack where slack is not due. All right, I'm liking this. So I got this little area here. I'm thinking can do like some sort of watchtower piece at the tippy top here. Maybe I connect this middle section through as well. I'm not going to be climbing back up this way, so... What would I say are some of the most well-written films off the top of my head? Off the top, I mean, Little Miss Sunshine is extremely well-written. I think great climaxes are a huge part of great writing. If you have a kind of a, like, if you can have a decent opening, a decent inciting incident, a pretty good midpoint, and an absolutely insanely good climax, you can make a great movie. The Lord of the Rings has a crazy good climax, and the three movies are great. Little Miss Sunshine, great climax. Star Wars, great climax. Watch Michael Arndt's The Good, the Bad, and Endings, The Good, the Bad, and the Insanely Great. It's a great video. He talks a lot about how important endings are, how to make them great. That's a huge, huge piece of it. I'm a big fan of The Social Network. I think that script is fantastic. I'm a big fan of the Whiplash screenplay. That script is really, really good. I'm a big fan of Inglourious Bastards. I think that screenplay is great. Django Unchained, that screenplay is great. Trying to think of some of the scripts on my hard drive right now. Moneyball is a great script, yes. Sorkin writes excellently most of the time. Molly's Game was good. I liked Molly's Game, but it was weaker. I think I would have loved to see a Molly's Game with Fincher directing, because I think Sorkin and Fincher, that combo, I mean, what a perfect combo. Like, both of them really knew their roles on The Social Network movie. Like, Sorkin didn't try to be the director. Fincher didn't try to be the writer. Like, them knowing their lanes was so helpful. And then you can see the lack of Fincher in Molly's Game, right? Like, that's when Sorkin is directing. And it's not like it's, totally poor directing. Like, he does a good job, but he does a good job. Like, he doesn't do Fincher level work, which is understandable because Fincher is one of the greatest modern working directors. Right? Like, it's like Fight Club, the direction on Fight Club, Panic Room. Panic Room is an example of a solid movie with a decent script and great direction. Zodiac. I enjoyed the Zodiac movie a lot. I would say it's a strong movie. I wouldn't say it's like greatest of all time level or something like that. But like, it's a very good film. Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, I really enjoyed that movie. The Dark Knight screenplay is fantastic. Snowpiercer, fantastic. And again, right, I talk about the endings really make or break a movie, and Snowpiercer has an unbelievably killer ending. All right, it's time for me to go spelunking. Sorkin wants Fincher and Eisenberg to come back for a Social Network sequel. I don't think they need a sequel, but I would love if Sorkin, Fincher, and Eisenberg can come together for, like, why don't they just come together for some sort of new IP? Like, why doesn't Sorkin? I'm sure Sorkin has to have some other screenplay already written or an idea that he really likes, where Jesse Eisenberg could play a main character and where Fincher could direct. I mean, there's no way. He's got to have something, right? I think I'm a big fan of, like, specifically with movies. One of the things that I love about films specifically is that you can just make one of them and it's this like standalone thing, right? Like in a TV series, it's like we got to do 47 billion episodes of a TV show and all of this. And like, I get it, right? I enjoy TV. But I love when it's like, boom, like one movie, no sequel. Like Inception is a great example. You know, I think that movie is super iconic. And I do not want an Inception 2, though it would be cool, right? Like, you could absolutely do an Inception 2. It's possible to do so. You could absolutely do another idea in this. Well, no, I mean, but it would just be the same exact movie, though, right? Like, it would just be the same beats. Okay, we got to go into somebody's dream, and we're doing that, and oh no, some problems happen, but we get, you know, we do the Inception. It would be the same kind of idea. But I like stuff like that, where it's like you just make one. You make one time, and that's it. The sequel thing is more of a product of the business side, right? It's like, hey, we're gonna make 7 sequels of this movie because we know for a fact it's gonna bring a return on investment. And I get that. Movies are super expensive. It's like the most expensive art form you possibly can get into. So obviously, you want to make some money if you're working in the most expensive art form that you can do. But even still, when we are lucky enough, like, I think Tarantino's career, one of the, like, the fact that he essentially did that, right? He made all of these movies that were standalone. And like Kill Bill was done as one movie. It was split by the studio, if I recall, just because he essentially made this 5-hour movie. But like he wanted it to be like a standalone project without sequels. And not that I'm totally against sequels, I'm not, but the fact that Tarantino he makes Reservoir Dogs, he makes Inglourious Bastards, he makes Django Unchained, he makes Kill Bill, he makes, what's that one, like Jackie something? It's like he makes these standalone films that are single individual stories, and then he moves on to another one. And that's ideal. Same with like Christopher Nolan. Like, yes, he made the Dark Knight trilogy. And also something about a trilogy. Like, you got the Star Wars trilogy. You got the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Something about films and trilogies work nicely. So, like, there is that. I will give it that for sure. But, man, like, you know, Nolan makes Interstellar. Nolan makes Inception. Nolan makes The Prestige, right? Nolan makes these single film. He makes Insomnia. He makes these single films that we never visit again. We get one story in one world, and then we go do something else. Jackie Brown, yeah. Yeah, Dark Knight best sequel. Totally, Dark Knight best sequel. Absolutely. Maybe greatest sequel of all time. Okay, I need more wood. This is a big old cave, and I need... Oh, wait, I have wood. Duh. Excellent. What's the best sequel movie? Yes, I mean, like Spider-Man 2, again, trilogies. Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 with Tobey Maguire, iconic films. Like, love those movies. Like, dude, like, that's a great example. There have not been that kind of Spider-Man type films. I mean, in a while, or even the Marvel films. So I love a lot of the Marvel films up until when the series was supposed to end, which was Endgame, right? Like, after that, it's over. I haven't seen a single Marvel film since Endgame, because why would you watch? Like, it's done, right? We did it. We beat Thanos. Marvel had the greatest run, maybe, like, for as far as cinematic universes go, like, shout out them. But then again, when does Endgame come out, right? 2019? 2020? Somebody look up the Endgame year and tell me, because that's right before lockdowns happen, right? And again, it's like, we have not had a truly great superhero film since Endgame, since the Marvel films wrapped up. Like, we've already discussed 2022 Batman. I need to get a water bucket. Yeah, I need a water bucket. Endgame 2019, exactly. So we haven't even had a great superhero film since pre-2020. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, and you have the whole big shift into streaming that happens because of the lockdowns and all of this. And I think that was a fundamentally destructive move in the long term, because the theater is the lifeblood of the feature film. Yes, you can watch Breaking Bad on your flat screen in the living room, and that in many ways it's built for that. But the feature film, Interstellar is built for the theater. Inception is built for the theater. Spider-Man 2 is built for the theater. Avengers Endgame is built for the theater. And this idea that we're going to put all our movies on Disney Plus and now we're going to live in this world, like, they pushed too hard in that direction. And again, I think it's biting them. And even, you know, then you have the summer, I think it was 2023, where you have Barbie, where you have Oppenheimer, where you have Mission Impossible, right? You have these movies again that are theater films again, right? That are bringing people back to the theaters, and everybody wants to go back, right? Like, Barbie made a ton of money at the theater. Oppenheimer made a solid amount. Mission Impossible made a solid amount. Why? Because people want to watch movies in the theaters. People want to feel the energy of the crowd when they're watching a film. They don't want to sit in their living room forever, right? And we're all just separate in our living rooms. Like, that was never the goal. It was never the purpose. And so, you know, when companies are optimizing for that, they're just optimizing for a more worse movie landscape. And even TV is harmed by the shift to streaming, because part of what makes TV, you know, I mean, TV has kind of been broken because of the internet entirely. Like, TV was in its golden age before the internet, right? Like, when everybody was watching the same 5 shows at 8/7 Central at the same day of the week, like, TV literally created a cultural ecosystem because everybody was watching the same shows at the same time at the same week. And so then you would go to work and talk about the same shows, or go to school, talk about the same shows. But in the world, in the age of streaming, when everybody's watching stuff on their own time and in their own way, well then everything is split. And you don't have that same connected sense of the culture around a TV show, which was part of the reason why I liked, like what Succession did, for example. Ooh, there's the evil guys down here. I gotta be careful. No. Oh, shoot. Okay. No. 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 Okay. Okay, I don't want that thing killing me. Okay, maybe we don't go that deep. That thing is going to kick my booty. I want to get over there. Okay. Maybe it's calmed down now. If I don't move, he doesn't kill me. Mr. Fogarty. Okay, well, we're gonna go. I would like more diamonds, though. Screw it. We're going. Okay. Where is he? Maybe if I stay off the black stuff. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. back to gaming. Would really like to find some diamonds. Ooh. Wait, I missed diamonds at my waterfall? What's down here? More. I didn't see him at the... Oh, shoot. Oh, bruh! Now I got this witch on me. Yeah, why don't you go get killed by the... Yeah. Mm-hmm. Die. Bro. Just let me harvest these diamonds. Okay. I think I got a problem now. Fogarty, do you see what you've gotten me into? Where is he? This is all Fogarty's fault. Where's he at? Christian, there's a big, massive monster that's blind out there in the dark somewhere that's now hunting for me because I wanted to get diamonds. And I don't know if he's gonna go away now. Where is he? I want to see him. Oh, shoot! Okay. Where was I? Where did I hop into that cave? Oh, gosh. Okay, I don't even remember where the entrance to that place was. Dang it, okay. Where was I? This is what happens when you guys get me ranting about movies. I think I went this way? Was it there? Yes. Okay. Okay. Step one. Right, and I needed my bucket to get down there. Okay. Okay, okay. Let's see, best way to get down, probably. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. Okay. All right, this should be good. Come on, baby. I think I've got it, but finding the entrance again was clutch. All right. Oh yeah, we're good. We're so good. Yes. No, no, sir. Okay. Stop. No. I didn't mean it. No! Give me these diamonds. Are you kidding me? Bro. Well, at least I know where I am. Yeah, I'm not moving an inch now. I don't know where he is, but I'm not moving. It will still find me. I'm out of here. Okay. Okay. Fine. Well, at least now I know where my stuff is. And now that the diamonds have been mined. Okay, this time we don't fail. Okay. It's all good. It was right there. Okay. Okay. Third time's a charm, ladies and gentlemen. If you are still hanging out on the stream after the connection issues and Oppenheimer rants, I salute you, friend. No, bro, you need to not be here right now. All right, this is me. This is all me. Okay. Bro. Are you for real? Alright. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm out of here. Bro, no. Okay. How do I... Hold on. Let me sit right here. Okay. Bro, okay. Well, I've got the diamonds. I need to get out. Okay. Yeah. No, sir. Okay. But I've got to get the rest of my stuff, though. I mean, right? I can't just not get my stuff. I just gotta not touch any of this. That makes sense. It's not risky. Yeah. Ta-da! Bro! Okay. Go, 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 go. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that might be enough cave diving for me. Yeah. Bruh. Oh my gosh, dude. The freaking poison spiders, bro. Back off. Okay. No. Go away. I need to be over there. Okay. There's gotta be a spawner above me. Dude! Back off! No. No! Okay. No. Okay. Please heal. And then I'm getting out of here. There's another one. Dude. Okay. I'm gonna sit right here for a second. Just chill. I'm just gonna chill. Okay, now we out of here. We are leaving. Changing seasons, say, hey, we are leaving here. If anybody knows that song, shout out you. Okay, we're gonna take these 3 diamonds safely back to my beautiful home. Ah, my beautiful home. What are my honest opinions on Back to the Future? I mean, I didn't really grow up with it, so I don't have the cultural nostalgia for it. I've honestly only seen the first one all the way through. I have seen the first one all the way through. I have seen some of the second, or maybe I've seen the second all the way through. I know I've seen at least parts of the second. I've seen the first one. I haven't seen any of the third, because there's 3, right? Classic trilogy type vibes. All right. So that gives us 5 diamonds. So that's enough for an enchanting table and a diamond pickaxe, which is great. Gets us to the nether. All good stuff. And that's really the only thing I gained from that insane escapade. I could have been more profitable, but hey. Shot the second and third back to back. Yeah, I mean, I think they're fun. They're not necessarily movies that I hold in extremely high esteem, but I didn't have the growing up nostalgia with them because they came out way before I was alive. I think out of any movies that I have like genuine nostalgia for and love, and like the movies that is hardest for me to criticize would be the Star Wars prequels. I think the Star Wars prequels are my like childhood movies that, well, one, I think they're the childhood movies that I love, and I think they're great. Or they were, when I watched them as a kid, I was like, these are the best movies of all time. And I think what's interesting about the narrative around them is, I think, again, you know, Hollywood is so big on controlling narratives, just like with the Oppenheimer stuff, that they say, oh, Oppenheimer is the greatest film of all time, and so we need to love and cherish it because it's the greatest film of all time. And I disagree. In the same way, I think that Hollywood was unnecessarily harsh on the prequel films because of George Lucas's because of his whole fight against the studios through those movies, right? So like Lucas fought for creative control so heavily, and then in the prequels he got it. But I think it also, because he had such an anger about how the original trilogy went, and so when he finally got that freedom, he was like, screw everybody, I'm doing this exactly how I want to do it, I'm not listening to anybody, that sort of thing. And I think that mentality that he had was a bit unhealthy for him. It might have been a bit justified, but at the same time, there was a lot of ideas that saved the original trilogy that happened because Lucas was forced to take notes. Like, I think George Lucas is a great world builder. I think he's great at building character ideas like Darth Vader, General Grievous, Yoda, you know, the Jedi Council, the idea of the battle droids and the stormtroopers and all these things. I think he's great at creating that sense of the world, that sense of space, but I don't think he is an excellent storyteller by himself, in the sense that not that he can't tell a good story, but I think he needs notes. Like, I think it is helpful to him when he has somebody forcing him to make certain calls about the edit or whatever that he doesn't always like. And so if you hear about how the original trilogy was made, there was a lot of decisions that, you know, like people say that the original Star Wars film, which is now Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope, was saved in the edit in a lot of ways. And there was a lot that wasn't working in it, and it kind of got to the end and was working because of decisions that were made by the studio, decisions that were made not by Lucas, that allowed those films to be functional stories at the end in a way that really worked, that might not have happened had Lucas had complete creative control. There's Lawrence something. Like, if you actually look how the credits are laid out for the original trilogy, it's like George Lucas isn't writing and directing every single film. I don't even think he directed the second movie. I can't remember exactly. My memory is failing me a bit, but the point is the writing and directing and editing was not just totally and completely George Lucas, and that was a good thing for the original trilogy. It made those films better because he had other people. Lawrence Kasdan. Thank you, Christian. Yes. Lawrence Kasdan's involvement, I think, was extremely helpful for the original trilogy. I also believe that George Lucas's wife made major edits. She was a big part of the edit, from my understanding, especially of the original Star Wars: A New Hope. And those sorts of things really saved the movies and made them the great films that we know today. And then when George Lucas got to the prequels, he was the creator of Star Wars, and so because of that, and because of the massive success of the original trilogy, now he comes into these prequels with way more creative control. And so now these films are like fully written, directed, and edited like totally by him, right? He has so much creative control, and he really didn't like how people were kind of pushing him around on the original films. And so I think what happens is the bones of the story of Anakin is great. Like how Darth Vader becomes Darth Vader. He's Obi-Wan's apprentice. He is found by the Jedi too late, right? They usually train them as infants, but then he's found too late, but he's the chosen one, so they train him anyway. It's tumultuous training. Qui-Gon Jinn wants him to be trained, and the Jedi Council doesn't want him to be trained. All of that is great. I love Darth Maul. I love General Grievous. I love a lot of the decisions that are made there. But I think in the execution of the actual films, there's problems, right? So I think from a directing standpoint, in the sense of George Lucas being able to get his actors to deliver the absolute most believable, strong performances, there were some issues there. I think also in the sense of how exactly the edit flows, right? One of the things that you notice in the prequel trilogy is a bit of strangeness in the way that the scenes are edited and how they just feel overall, right? It's as if it would have been nice for Lucas to have another editor, do just like not to be the keeper of the vision of the film, but to add a certain vibe, right? Add a certain sense of just believability and cleanliness to the edit, because I think there's certain decisions that are made where performances feel stilted because of the way that scenes are edited, or there's a flatness to certain moments because certain music or sound design decisions were not as crisp as they might otherwise have been had George Lucas been in a mentality of accepting more feedback and being more open to other people's ideas. So I think when he comes into the prequels with this chip on his shoulder about, I got all these studio notes, I got Lawrence Kasdan making all these decisions, I got people changing my edit, I got all this stuff, but then from the public perspective, George Lucas is the creator, and so now we come into the prequels and the studio gives him all this creative control because they just know, hey, no matter what he makes, we're going to make a killing on this because these are going to be the greatest, most commercially successful films of all time because of the success of the original movies. They just let him do whatever he wanted, and that was the wrong call. And so we end up with these films that I think could have been like true, absolute masterpieces of cinema had there been, one key producer there saying, listen, we're going to give you a lot of control on the story. We're going to let it be your screenplay, this sort of thing. But like, you need to let other artists be other artists. Film is a collaborative medium. Like, you cannot do it all by yourself. And I think what happened was George Lucas wanted to be in the green screen studio, king of the castle, total control over what's happening with everything. And I think that because of his inability to work in a more collaborative setting, the movie suffered for that. I still think he turned out something that he genuinely cared about and something that is really strong, and I still really like those movies. But there's a few story decisions, there's a few like editing flow and performance decisions, there's a few sound design decisions, there's a whole sort of level of Hollywood polish that I would say is kind of missing from those movies. Right? Like what I was talking about with something like Twisters, for example. That's a cool mountain. I'm going to hike up there. Well, I should probably sleep first. Twisters, that movie that just came out. It's like the story is very bland and weak, but there is such an overall level of Hollywood professionalism. It's like the performances are great. The set design is great. The visual effects are astounding. Like, it just feels seamless and great because it's a Hollywood movie done the studio way. And there's a lot to be said about how that is super beneficial and helpful. And pushing away from that, like Lucas did, shows in the final product of his movies. And I think that's why you have, people also say like, oh, the visual effects in those films feel a little bit flatter. It doesn't feel as strong as it could be. I wonder where my house is. Maybe it's over this way. So, but, I would still watch, like, Episode 3. Star Wars Episode 3 still is probably my overall favorite Star Wars film. I also think there's a video series, and maybe one of you guys watching can find this for me. But this YouTuber did a rewrite of the Star Wars films, the Star Wars prequel films. And his rewrite is overall very solid. And I actually, that's funny, I have it privated now, but maybe I'll reopen it back up. I did a full video on a Force Awakens rewrite, and then I took it down off my channel because I was like, oh, this is kind of maybe too much or whatever. But I did a full Star Wars Episode 7 rewrite because Star Wars Episode 7 is my least favorite film of all time, bar none. Not because it's the worst, like, technically made film, but just because of what it is and what it stands for and, like, what it symbolizes for, the direction of filmmaking, and kind of it really symbolizes like the fall of Star Wars in many ways. It is my least favorite film of all time. But so maybe I should make that video public again so you guys can see kind of my version of Star Wars Episode 7. But anyways, I digress. This guy makes this prequel rewrite, and the most important change he makes is the fact that Darth Maul does not die in Episode 1. And instead, he kills Qui-Gon Jinn and lives on. And now we have this continued battle against Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, right? Where now Episode 1, Maul kills Qui-Gon Jinn, and then we have continued showdowns, right, in Episodes 2 and 3 between Obi-Wan and Maul, and now you have this situation where, just like in the original Star Wars trilogy, you have Luke and Darth Vader have this continued meeting, continued fight kind of situation. You get that with Obi-Wan and with Darth Maul. And I think that's that making Darth Maul live rather than dying in episode 1. I mean, that change in and of itself, I think would have been so great to see, because Maul is such a great character. And I know, like, and it's so true, so much so that, they bring him back in the Clone Wars and he like didn't die according to canon, but still it's just not the same. It's like in the feature films, in the fundamental canon of the series, which is the feature films, Darth Maul dies in episode 1. And you can bring him back with robot legs in the cartoon, but like it doesn't really matter. Like he dies from that point forward. They are writing him not in the film. He's not in episode 2. He's not, going forward. So that would have been such a great change. And I agree. Yes. Christian's saying 7 isn't great, but 8 and 9 are way worse. 8 and 9 are absolutely worse films from a filmmaking standpoint. Armadillo Scoot. Interesting. 8 and 9 are definitely worse films, like on paper. But that's not why I say, man, where's my freaking house? That's not why I say 7 is the worst. It's not the worst just because it was technically a worse film. It is the worst because of what it symbolizes. Like, it symbolizes the downfall of Star Wars. It symbolizes the Disney buyouts and all of the absolute horrid, awful atrociousness that has followed through there. It symbolizes the woke era of Star Wars. Everything that is wrong with Star Wars today began with Episode 7. And so that's why it is the worst film of cinema history, or at least of the modern era of cinema, right? Because if you think about it, Star Wars is the defining film franchise of the last 3-4 decades, period. Like, yes, I would even say, like, the Lord of the Rings films are better films than the original Star Wars trilogy, yet Star Wars is the defining series, right? It is bigger than anything. Star Wars is as big as the freaking Catholic Church. Like, it's huge. And it was culturally defining for the last, like, the era of the American Empire, right? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna freaking die here like an idiot too, aren't I? Okay. Just find my house, dude. It's like right over this ridge, right? And then I'm gonna die to a skeleton. It's gonna be a whole thing. Just let me live! Let me live! Yes, fight each other, morons. Yes, there it is. Okay, everything's going right for just a moment. Okay, let me lock in, boys. What did I think of Dune 2? I saw that a minute ago. Let me not die real quick, and I will. Okay, great. Now I cannot sprint. But yeah, I guess I should make that. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. At least I was over there. Gosh. I'm so bad at this game. I thought Dune 2 was fine. Like, it looks cool. You know what? If I could make one big change to Dune 2, it would be that when we go and we have, like, the Emperor... I should have slept. Continuing to make bad decisions in this game. When we go to, like, the Emperor, right, when we go to Christopher Walken and we're seeing, like, what he's up to, I would really like to use those scenes to introduce the other clan leaders, right? Because, like, at the end of the film... The idea is that, okay, Paul Atreides has, spoilers for those who haven't seen it, Paul Atreides has, like, brought the Emperor to the planet, and he's crushing everybody, and, like, he's totally winning, and he's becoming the Mujahideen, or whatever it's called. And all that's great, but, like, and then it's like, oh my gosh, all the clan leaders are now here, like, in their spaceships above the planet. And it's like, well, I don't care about that if I don't know any of these characters. Like, I have not seen a single head of any of these clans. I've only stayed with, where is my stuff? We've only stayed with Paul Atreides and like his gang. And so I'm like, okay, well, you're making this like big cliffhanger reveal of all these clan members, but I don't know a single one of their faces. So it's not as emotionally impactful if I don't know any of those characters, and I don't even have to know them super deeply. I think instead of the Emperor just having all these like pensive scenes where he's pensively thinking and stuff, like throw in pressure from the other clans members. Like they're saying, what's going on with the Atreides? Why is, like what's happening with our big white bad guys? Our vanilla cream evil men. Come on, where's my stuff? I was on this mountain, right? It was over here. I have not seen the Before trilogy. I'm sorry. And, these days I don't even make it a huge priority to be constantly watching movies. Orson Welles has an interesting take on movie watching, and he makes the case. I should find that video. But Orson Welles makes the case in this interview that like directors should not watch a billion films because there is something beautiful about your like the virginity of your creative mind is I believe how he puts it. And that like your childlike mind, your childlike creativity, there is a preciousness to that. Oh my gosh. And that like you shouldn't necessarily flood your mind with a billion films if you are someone who wants to make your own. And he kind of like says that there's a fine line to tread there, because obviously you do need to watch great films to get a sense of film form and a sense of what you want to emulate. But he's also talking about like how he hates homages in film because he wants directors to be making things that are like new, right? Making things that are as pure to their creative sensibility as possible. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. And so as I continue my journey of like, I know that I have spent a lot of times kind of critiquing films and analyzing them and this sort of thing, but I don't want to just be a film critic. Like that's not the ultimate goal. And literally the reason I started my YouTube channel in the first place way back when I did was the studying of film so that I could then make my own. And that's still the goal to this day, even though I have moved out of Hollywood and my life has taken a fundamentally different trajectory. I think my stuff is just lost. Even though I've kind of gone my own way here, that's still the goal. The goal is not to just be a YouTube critic for my whole life. The goal is to ultimately make my own films, and I would like to do that sooner rather than later. And so I'm closer than this. Okay. Well, I might as well die and reset myself again here shortly because I am unable to sprint once again. So So yeah, you know, I would also say, like, if you are somebody that does want, if you are somebody that does want to make films, don't feel like you have to see every movie under the sun. This is very much like this millennial mindset of, like, you need to see 700 films so that you can, you know, talk to the cool kids about movies. And that's not necessarily true. If you haven't seen all the movies, like, don't worry, bro. Yes, you need to, like, watch some good ones, and yes, you need to read screenplays. What's also cool is I have spent so much time, again, working with writers on their screenplays. Like, that is my main thing. Like, this week it's what, today's what, Saturday? So yeah, this last week I've read 2 screenplays, maybe 3. I think just 2 this week, of clients of mine that are at different phases of working on their scripts. Nice. And so, like, not only am I, and that's really more interesting to me overall. Like, I'm getting to work with people on current projects and adding my own creative ideas to those projects, rather than only interacting with totally complete work and kind of giving my final opinion on, oh, do I like this? Do I not? That sort of thing. It's gotta be... Okay, I was running from this side. Right? I came this way. I felt like I was, like, a little lower, maybe? So yeah, like, I like doing the creative work. I like reading scripts that can actually evolve based on the feedback I'm giving, right? Like, I can sit here and rant and rave about a Star Wars movie all day long, but there's not a single breath of mine that can change a Star Wars movie, right? Or, like, I literally wrote, I wrote my own Star Wars Episode 7. Like, I wrote an entire screenplay for my version of Star Wars Episode 7, and I made a YouTube video walking through my version of Star Wars Episode 7. That did not change a single second of the film of The Force Awakens, right? And so, you know, I want to be a producer of stories, not just a consumer and critic. And so because of that, I have not made it my priority to watch every single iconic film or that kind of thing. Man, I really think my stuff is lost. Oh well. Well, at least I have my... I hope I didn't make a diamond pickaxe, did I? Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna head back to my house. Bakana, do I have a script that I make somewhere? I wrote that script in 48 hours, which is up on the channel, if you want to read that one. Some of my actually stuff that I'm a bit more proud of is not up. But yeah, like, I've got, like, old thrillers and stuff I could read or show you. But the screenplay I'm working on right now, you can actually see me write it on some of the live streams. If you go back in the live stream log, it's called The Good Cult. That's the script I'm working on right now. What's the biggest issue I find in most client screenplays? I mean, a lot of it's just, like, clarity and completeness, right? It's not necessarily always one specific thing. It's like clarity and completeness of plot, clarity and completeness of their character arcs, clarity and completeness in story objects and like the use of them in stories, right? The clarity of their theme, right? These different things So, wow, I have no wood at all in here. Man, okay. So it's clear, like, what I'm doing when I'm working with writers is that it's like working on how clear is this idea, how complete is this idea, what is missing. I'm walking through my story frameworks when I'm working with them. I'm looking at, okay, do they have a clear concept? Do they have a clear character web? Do they have a clear character arc? Do they have a clear climax? Do their acts have act structure within them, or is it kind of messy? Do they have a midpoint, right? Do they have choices or do they have scenes that actually have choices, or are they sort of meandering around? Do they have an active main character, or is their character just constantly waiting for things to happen to them, right? And then different stories have different goals, and different writers have different visions for their particular screenplay. And so understanding what their vision is, why they're trying to write this particular story, and then optimizing to that based on the story fundamentals that I understand. That's essentially how I'm working with them. So you mentioned that the future is social media and the death of Hollywood. What does that mean for cinema and films? How are you going to adapt to that? Well, I hope that the Hollywood, Los Angeles filmmaking as the hub, as the mega hub of everything, does not mean that we don't have theaters anymore. Those things can be separate from one another, right? Like, we can do theaters without one town having a complete monopoly on the cultural conscience. That's kind of my biggest. All right, I'm going to get some wood and then probably wrap up the stream from there, because I don't want to just end with literally no wood at all. That would be really annoying when I come back for the next stream, assuming it happens. So yeah, theaters are separate from Hollywood, right? They don't have to be the same thing. And even if Hollywood goes completely belly up, which I also don't think is going to happen, I think Hollywood is going to exist in some format for a while, because their production system is so strong and the connections are there and all of that. Okay, I'm getting tired of the music for now. So I don't think Hollywood's going to go totally away for a while, but my hope is that it being the sole driver of cultural thought. Already that's dead. The internet has already democratized the eyeballs, and way more people are watching people play video games on YouTube than are letting Hollywood dictate their thought process through films. Like, the video game industry is massive, like massive, and everybody's watching gamers on YouTube and stuff, which is, kind of the irony of what I'm doing here. But again, ultimately audio-visual storytelling in the 2-hour format, I think, is going to continue to exist, and people are going to continue to want that. And I think it's just such a wonderful medium. And so it's like, with or without Hollywood, I think you can put 100 people in a room and have a big screen and show them a movie that's 2 hours long. Like, that's a fundamental thing that can happen regardless of business structures that have existed. And Bacano, part of the reason that the 90s movies were as strong as they were was, again, because all of the creative energy was there. Like, all of the creative energy was in filmmaking, was in Hollywood. We didn't have the internet. Like, think about that. The reason the movies are not as good now is because we have the internet. Because creative juices are flowing elsewhere. Does that make sense? It's like, people's creative energy goes elsewhere. Therefore, all of the natural sort of things that would occur for films to be what they used to be, it doesn't exist in the same capacity. Because in the 90s, it was theaters and cable TV, and that's what you had, right? You didn't have these other options. You didn't have the option to watch some random guy play Minecraft on the internet. You didn't have the option to watch people on YouTube and watch them make documentaries or little web series or any of these things, right? And so because of social media and the internet, the eyeballs have shifted, and that is part of the reason that, like, all these people that used to have been clamoring down the door of Hollywood, now they're on the internet making TikTok videos, and they're YouTubers, right? They're doing other things. That's the reason that there's a difference in quality of films now. All right, guys. I am gonna run back to the house and then wind the stream down from there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this chill Minecraft stream. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna do, or if I'm even gonna do it again. Very likely only gonna be like a weekend thing. I'm very unlikely to be streaming tomorrow. But I felt like playing some Minecraft tonight, and I felt like talking to you guys in a non-writing capacity, although we did just more or less sit around and talk about movies the whole time. But that's all good. That's what we do around here. That's what we're passionate about. We love stories, and we like to talk about them. So no harm to that. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, Christian. Yes, Fagardi, I'm glad you enjoyed as well. We had it all, right? We had the mining, we found some diamonds, watched me die in some hilarious ways. It's a truly full and complete Minecraft stream. I have a house now and a cool area. This, honestly, like, the fact that I found a house that I think is cool, if I don't find a spot in a Minecraft world that's cool, then in my first session playing, then I usually never open the world again. So the fact that I actually have a spot makes it possible that I do this again. So you're welcome, Sushim. I held on my screenplay question for regular streams. Good for you. Yeah, I appreciate it. We will do that. All right, everybody. Thanks for hopping onto the stream. It's been a ton of fun. Hope you guys have enjoyed a little bit of a change of pace tonight. Have a good evening. I'll see you guys later. Peace.